Hello students, I am Ishan Trivedi, Assistant Professor Civil Engineering Department. Welcome you in the video lecture series. Today we are going to discuss about various theories like urban patterns, central business district. Topics to be covered in the sessions are urban patterns, development controls, objectives of development control, central business district, and the characteristics of central business district. Let us start with the urban patterns. If you have observed that every town has certain patterns and certain forms. These patterns are depend upon its two-dimensional geometry, regular or irregular, formed by roads, streets, building and open space. The urban forms are of three-dimensional shape, but in urban patterns, we have to understand the two-dimensional approach, and these urban patterns are linear pattern, star pattern, concentric ring pattern, radial and circumferential pattern, then grid pattern, sheet pattern, and the satellite pattern. This pattern is totally depend upon the road, streets, and the buildings. Let us start with the first is linear pattern. The development of town done along the road. It can be on the one side or it can be at the both the side. And entire city is developed along the major road. Like Mumbai. Mumbai is developed along the railway and the road corridor. In some of the cases, the city is developed in navigational rivers or any other form of transportation. As I said, in Mumbai, the city is divided into two parts, that is in Western Mumbai and Eastern Mumbai. And centrally, the entire Western Express corridor as well as the railway network, which is major transport link of the city. Even in Ahmedabad case, Sabarmati river is dividing the city in two parts, that is of East Ahmedabad and the West Ahmedabad. Next is star pattern. It is of radiocentric pattern where the core is the city center, or you can say central business district, which is major attraction for the town. And at the same time, there are certain outreaching corridors, or you can say major roads, which are going outward from the city. These radial roads are also connected, and town develops by strong urban core with the secondary center of moderate densities, and this has been distributed along these radial roads. So whatever the density, like moderate density, which is developed along this roadside, or you can say this radial road. Next is concentric pattern. In this pattern, there are number of additional mixed use of growth areas, which is developed outside the main city, or you can say parent city, and that is called expansion area. Whereas the center portion is called the city heart, or you can say walled city area, like Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad, when it was established, the city is limited within the wall. As city has grown, that is of concentric pattern, and that is of centrally outward from city has developed in its peripheral, and that is what the expansion area of a town. The entire development is done on the outward side of a city. Next is radial and circumferential pattern. This pattern shows a development channel fanning out from a given center. Means the major road is there and city is fanning out from any one part, and there is a circumferential roads, or you can say radial roads, which are crossover to the circumferential road, and at this crossover you will find certain development nodes, or you can say certain development nuclei, where certain level of activities are done. Next is grid pattern. This grid pattern is of rectangular block defined by parallel and intersecting streets. This layout provides the accessibility of plots and structure, but there is unnecessary conflicts which arise due to the numerous intersections. Next is the satellite pattern. These things were also discussed in satellite growth. There is a main town, whereas in radial road there are certain nuclei or nodes where sub-town has developed. Here I am not going to talk about that characteristics. Here I am talking about the development of this urban pattern. The small towns are developed focusing on the main town center. This type of development or expansion may take longer period or longer time. Next is the sheet pattern. The town is spread evenly over a wide continuous tract, which is very accessible to open land, and transport is designed as continuous grid. This grid pattern is also been discussed in the previous sessions. So this is what the urban patterns are. Now understand the development control. While designing or while planning the town, the various authorities are involved. The town planners from various department and the authorities, or the town planners from various specializations, gather and think about each and every component which is essential for town planning. And at certain level, they may face many problems. These problems are of shortage of housing. In future, there may be chances of squatting on the public land, encroachment, uncontrolled settlement, increase in the density in the built-up areas, limited road network, shortage of public services and facilities. So, this would arise in the future. To avoid certain things or to tackle certain problems, there is necessity of planning, laws and special legislation. Without control over such development and the use of land and the building, no planning will be successful. So you need to understand the development controls and the objects of development controls. These objects are to control and to prevent the misuse of land. You have to value each land, and nook and corner of town has to be fruitfully utilized. To encourage the private sector to participate in all the aspect of development of the town, to control the development as per the required standards in the relation to public health, environment, safety and convenience, to control the haphazard and unplanned growth of the town, to discourage the growth of town in unplanned and unscientific way, to control the establishment of various industries in a town, and at last to satisfy the present requirement of the town. So these are the objects which require for the development of any town, and these things are already told in previous session. So here this is of in synchronized manner, and these things you need to remember and write in the exam. Next is the central business district, that is also called CBD. This is one of the IMP phenomenon that you have to understand. CBD is known by Central Business District and also known as Premier Shopping Center, Central Commercial District or Retail Business Section. CBD is town's hub for main business function and several services, which also has town's largest retail center. CBD is not marked by any boundaries, but it is marked by its distinctive feature or feature class and its characteristics of land use. CBD require commercial, social and civic life within a town with transportation. All the routes of transportation are passing through that CBD area. There are also certain activities like commercial, social, or you can say even public. It is the unique in attracting its consumer and customer and the employees from all part of regional area and the town area as well. Conceptually, if we can define CBD, it is one of the sub area which has more characteristics and also better known than any of the other. You can say everywhere you can heard or you can have word about this CBD area, and it is very famous area of the town. In Ahmedabad, the CBD area is Lal Darwaja and the Relief Road, where you can find commercial, social, and civic life. The research has been said that many of the transport route of Ahmedabad are passes through Lal Darwaja. Even though person who does not have any work, he is also going through or passing through Lal Darwaja unnecessarily. But this area is famous due to its distinctive features and all the connecting route, or you can say it is of central part where all the connecting route are facilitated. This is the central business and commercial core of the town, which includes mix of offices, retail and other business uses, along with some residential development. Local area plan including measure for plot utilization, road widening, parking management and pedestrian shall be prepared for this zone. Such essential things is required so that you can eliminate the traffic, unnecessary congestion on roads and easy access and mobility can be provided. The location of business center is determined by street, their width and transportation facilities. The shops are to be designed considering the community needs, purchasing capacity or purchasing parity of consumer and the traffic facilities. It is one of the most expensive land area of the town. So this is what the brief introduction of CBD area. Now understand the characteristics of CBD. First is no boundaries. In central business district, you will not find any boundaries or any map or any hoarding like you are entering in the CBD area. It is one of those conceptual perception of individual who just determine by its activity, or it is of mental construct. So there would be no wall or any fence around the CBD area. Clear? You are not going to see any hoarding like welcome to CBD zone. You are in the CBD area. No, there are no such hoardings. It is identified by its distinctive feature. Second is accessibility. As I said, many transport routes and the roads are passing through CBD area. Even regional connectivity also been provided so that one who is residing in the remote area of a city is also come for trade, commerce, social or any civic activities. Third is tall buildings. CBD has intense competition for land use to deal with, and so it has more vertical expansion rather than the horizontal expansion. There is competition in each market so that everyone wants to do business in that particular CBD area, and that's why due to its demand there is concentration of density and the buildings are of vertical. Next is vehicular and pedestrian traffic. As I said, the CBD area attracts business or any activity from the urban area as well as from the remote area, which also include people from all the classes and ethnic group. So the area become more concentrated in terms of vehicular and pedestrian traffic. And the last one is partly used for residential purposes. The multi-story buildings are generally used by the commerce and business offices. And because of the more intensity of business uses, it is less used for residential purposes. However, in developing areas of the Indian cities, like many area of the CBD area is being used as residential. Like in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, more than 25% are of people who are residing in the upper story of a multi-story building, which is part of that commercial or any business offices. So each CBD area has its own characteristics of mixed use retailing. So this is what the characteristic of CBD area. And at last, public utility services. These includes cemeteries, hospitals, fire station, park and playground, electricity, public transport system like road system, street, public buildings, market and shopping centers, gas supply, water supply, sewage, refuse disposal, local industry units, stores, telephones, stormwater drainage, education institute, and street lighting. These are one of those essential services which we require in town. I'm ending this session. I hope you have learned regarding urban patterns, development controls, and CBD. Thank you.